Welcome back to another very exciting tutorial here at the PhotoshopTrainingChannel.com. My name is Jesus Ramirez, and you can find me on Instagram at JRFromPTC. In this video, I'm going to show you how to get free patterns, vectors, UI elements, and brushes in Photoshop. As some of you may know, I do a lot of traveling. I speak at a lot of conferences. And this is something that I usually show at conferences, and it always surprises me how many people don't know about it. So I decided to make a video about it. So here we are in Photoshop, and some of you may know that if you open up your Creative Cloud app, there is a section called Assets. So I'm going to click on that. And from this section, you can download different elements onto Photoshop. You can click on this drop-down, and you have user interfaces, vectors, icons, patterns, and brushes. I'm not going to go through all the categories, but some of the more useful ones are icons. So if you're designing a website and you need something like a Facebook logo, you can just type in Facebook. And you get different Facebook logos that you can download onto the Creative Cloud so that you can use them on your design. So if you wanted to use this button here, you can just click on the download button and you can select the library. And I have this library titled Assets Tutorial. So I'm going to select it and I'm going to move this to the side. And it's going to come up in my libraries panel in the Assets Tutorial library. And there it is. So I can click and drag it into my working document. And this is a smart object. You can see the icon here is linking to the cloud, but if I double click on it, it opens up and I can make adjustments to it if need be. I'm going to close this and we're going to look at a couple other things. I'm just going to delete this layer. So I'm going to hit the delete key. I'm going to bring the Creative Cloud app back and I'm going to clear that search. And you can also type in icon set so that you get a whole bunch of icon sets like these here so that you can use on your designs. So that is really useful when you're creating websites or apps in Photoshop. Another thing that you can look for is patterns. So I'm going to select patterns. And again, you can just search for something or just go down the list and look at all the different patterns that you can download. So these could be backdrops for your photography, or it could be patterns to be used on your designs. You could use them for anything that you like. So you can select something like this pattern here. Once again, I'm going to add it into the Assets Tutorial library. I'm going to move this to the side and you can see it uploading here. Some of these may be vectors, and if you double click on them, they will open in Illustrator. If they're bitmap images, they'll open up in Photoshop. So I'll double click on this one. This particular one is an SVG. If I hover over it, you can see, and you can see that Illustrator is opening up. And you can see the vectors that make up that image. I'm not going to make any changes to it, but I could if I wanted to. So I can just drop this in here and I can scale it up. It's a vector image, so scaling it up will not pixelate it. And then I can just hold Control, Command on the Mac, and click on the layer thumbnail to make a selection around that object. I can go to Image and Crop. Then I can go into Edit, Define Pattern, and now this will be a pattern that I could use for anything I want. So you can rename it if you want to. I'm just going to call it Pattern 1, and I'm going to press OK. And I'm actually going to undo the crop, disable that layer, press Control D, Command D to deselect, and I'm just going to create a pattern fill layer. And look at that pattern there. So now I can click and drag this pattern around. It's seamless. I can scale it to maybe 50% or 25%, and again I can move it around. And now that it's a layer, I can adjust it any way that I want, and obviously I have access to the blending modes. And finally, the last thing that I want to show you is you can download brushes. And this is really powerful because you can now simply look for the type of brushes that you need for your compositing projects or whatever project you're working with. So I'm just going to close this and I'm going to go into brushes and I can just type clouds. It looks for clouds and it's under all categories, so I need to change it to brushes. And there you go. I have access to all these cloud brushes. So I'll just select this very first one here just to see how that one works. So I'm going to add it into my asset tutorial library. And I'm going to move this back out, and it's loading onto my library. There it is. If I double click on it, it selects the brush that I downloaded, and I can select the background, and I can start painting with my brush. And maybe I can bring the opacity down and continue painting these clouds. So as you can see, you have a lot of options of the things that you can download into Photoshop and start using them right away for your projects. Also, we didn't go through everything. You can also download user interfaces if you're a designer, so you can download calendars, phone mockups, all kinds of things. There's a whole bunch of things available for you to download. So just remember, it's in the Creative Cloud app under Assets and Market, and you have all these different categories. If this was new to you, let me know in the comments. If it wasn't new to you, then maybe leave a comment letting people know the useful things that you have downloaded to help you with your projects. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.